My friend, in just a few moments, you can prove that imagination creates reality, not by theory, but by experience. You will not need effort nor time, only the courage to believe that what you hear within yourself is the creative voice of God. All that you believe to be outer fact was once an inner hearing. The world is but the echo of imagination speaking to itself, and tonight you will learn how to listen deliberately to that inner conversation. Some of you remember the experiment I gave before, the ladder trick. You imagined climbing an invisible ladder and soon found yourself doing it in the flesh. That was your first proof that imagination acts. But faith that is only awakened must be confirmed. Tonight, you will confirm it. I call this the congratulations technique. It is simple. You imagine that a friend is congratulating you on your success, your healing, or the fulfillment of your desire. You hear his voice, feel his tone, and accept it as fact. You do not think of the wish, you think from its completion. You are no longer the one waiting to receive, you are the one being congratulated. This is the turning point of faith. For to see is the beginning of belief, but to hear is the certainty that it is done. Creation begins the moment you inwardly accept the sound of your fulfilled desire. A few seconds of genuine hearing can accomplish more than hours of effort. So listen carefully tonight. Take what you hear as something to test, not to admire. Apply it and let the proof convince you. For the law needs no belief, only demonstration. And if you do this sincerely, the outer world will soon speak back the words you heard within. You may ask, why another test? Did the ladder not already prove that imagination acts? It did, my friend. But this one reveals how it acts and why it never fails. The ladder trick awakened faith through movement. You imagined climbing, and life responded with the very motion you saw within. It was a beautiful proof that thought and action are one. But this technique, the congratulations technique, brings that same faith to rest. You no longer move toward the thing desired. You listen from the moment it is complete. You stand where the wish is already fulfilled and hear the world rejoicing with you. This is not motion, this is arrival. The purpose of this act is simple, to experience the end before it appears. Faith is not built by waiting for signs, but by hearing from within what the world will one day echo. To see may begin belief, but to hear is to know. When you inwardly hear the tone of joy, the laughter of a friend, or the simple words, congratulations, your mind accepts it as fact. And what the mind accepts, the world must confirm. For the law does not demand effort, it only asks that you believe long enough to see your own assumption harden into fact. Some of you will wonder, which technique should I do first? The latter or this? Begin where belief is easiest. If you are new to these teachings, climb the ladder first. It will show you that imagination can act. Then come to this one, for it will show you that imagination has already acted. The ladder builds faith, the congratulations confirms it. One teaches motion, the other reveals rest. Remember this, all creation is finished. You are not bringing something new into being. You are tuning yourself to the version of reality where your desire is already fulfilled. That is why this act feels so natural, because it is not invention, but remembrance. Every time you hear those inner words of joy, you are aligning with the eternal fact of your being. You live from the end, not toward it. And that, my friend, is the difference between striving and creating. So do not measure this by outer results. They will come, but not because you chase them, They will come because you have already arrived inwardly. The moment you hear from within, you have spoken the creative word, and the world in its appointed hour will echo what you heard in secret. That is the law. That is imagination in action. Now, let us put this law to the test. You will not need more than a few quiet moments. Sit as you are, or lie down if you prefer. Just be comfortable. Let your body grow still and your breath become slow and easy. Forget the room, forget this voice, and forget even yourself for a little while. You are not here to think, you are here to hear. Now, bring before your mind someone you trust, a friend, a loved one, perhaps a relative, someone who would truly rejoice in your good fortune. See them clearly, not as a lifeless picture, but as a living presence. You know the sound of their voice, the rhythm of their laughter, the warmth of their tone. That is all you need. Do not imagine the process that led to your success. Go straight to the moment after it has happened. That is the essence of creation, to live from the end, not toward it. Now listen. Hear that friend's voice saying to you, slowly and sincerely, congratulations, I heard the good news. Listen not to the words alone, but to the tone, the delight, the affection, the reality of it. Hear it again and let it grow more distinct as if it were happening right now. Perhaps you see a smile on their face or feel the warmth of a handshake. Whatever form it takes, let it be simple, natural, and real. Do not force the scene. Do not decorate it. A single sound held in faith is greater than 1,000 details. Stay with that one act, hearing the words, congratulations, and accepting them as real. You are not pretending. You are remembering. For the voice you hear is not another's. It is the voice of your own deeper self, speaking from the end of all creation. For all things exist now, and what you hear within has always been true. You are tuning yourself to the state where your desire is already fulfilled. That is all imagination ever does. It tunes. As you listen, notice what begins to rise within you. Perhaps a quiet joy, perhaps a stillness that feels whole. That is the sign you have entered the state desired. It is not excitement, it is peace. The moment it feels natural to be the one congratulated, the act is finished. There is nothing more to do. You have heard the creative word, and that word cannot return void. Now gently let the scene fade, but not the feeling. Carry it softly like a memory of something sacred. Whisper within yourself, thank you, Father. Not as a request, but as recognition. Gratitude is the evidence that you have accepted it as done. That quiet thankfulness seals the act. If thoughts intrude or doubt comes, do not resist them. Return gently to that inner sound. Hear it again, the same voice, the same joy, the same tone of reality. And soon every disturbance will fade, for nothing can stand against a mind anchored in fulfillment. This is true prayer, not asking but receiving. And now let it rest. You have heard it. The world must echo it in its own appointed hour. Do not wonder how. Do not look for signs. The law works in secret, and the secret is hearing. When the time is right, you will hear those very words again, this time through human lips. And when you do, you will remember this moment and say quietly, imagination heard it first. When you rise from this act, something within you will feel different. It may not be loud or dramatic, but it will be sure. You may sense a quiet ease or a calm certainty that something invisible has shifted. Do not overlook it. That gentle assurance is the proof. The world will echo that inner tone in its own time, perhaps through a conversation or a simple event that mirrors the joy you felt within. Do not strain or dig for the seed you have just planted. Trust the process. Imagination has already acted and the unseen is taking form. Your only task is to remain faithful to the feeling that it is done. When doubt arises, quietly return to the inner hearing until peace returns. For conviction itself is creation. This technique is not to make things happen faster, but to reveal the cause behind all things. You are both the speaker and the one being spoken to, the voice and its echo. What you imagine another saying to you is your own consciousness bearing witness to fulfillment. That is the mystery of creation, the dreamer conversing with himself and calling it reality. So lead this practice tonight with quiet confidence. Let the world unfold naturally. You have heard the end, therefore it must appear. No power can stop what imagination has already accepted. Rest in that knowing. For proof is never found in effort, but in peace. In stillness, the law completes itself. What began as an inner whisper will soon stand before you as solid fact. Let every question fade. You have heard the word, and the word has been made flesh. The promise is fulfilled in imagination. It will appear in its appointed hour. Now, my friend, let us go into the silence.